Howdy, this is Mr. K's, and this is 34.3a. 34.3a. We're looking at new nations in Africa. A lot of countries coming to independence right after World War II. It's because these colonial masters are beaten up from World War I, World War II, and they don't want to take the time and blood, sweat, and tears to control their colonies anymore. They're breaking away. The decade following the end of World War II saw African nations gain independence. Following the end of World War II, saw African nations gain independence. Now, a movement that's going to come about is called the Negritude Movement. The Negritude Movement. The word Negro comes out of it. Negro means black. It's an effort to celebrate African culture, heritage, and values. An effort to celebrate African culture, heritage, and values. See, for so long, colonial masters had said, don't speak your language, don't study your history, you study English, you study French, you study German. And there was like a devaluing of black culture. The father of the Negritude movement is Leopold Senghor. Leopold Senghor. He was a Senegal poet. Senegal is a country in Africa. And the father of the Negritude movement. Father of the Negritude movement. World War II veterans fight for democracy. World War II veterans fight for democracy. We're talking about blacks now. Black Africans fight for democracy. And they refuse to live under further colonial domination. Hey, we fought for you guys to help you remain free. Now we want our freedom. World War II veterans fight for democracy, and they refuse to live under further colonial domination. We're looking at Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah. He's the first prime minister of the Gold Coast, in 1957. He fought nonviolently for independence from British rule. He fought nonviolently for independence from British rule. Gee, where did he get that philosophy? Probably from Gandhi. His nation is now known as Ghana. The nation is now known as Ghana. G-H-A-N-A. G-H-A-N-A. Infrastructure is built. Remember, infrastructure is communication and transportation systems. Infrastructure is built, yet costly projects undermined the economy. Yet costly projects undermined, U-N-D-E-R-M-I-N-E-D, undermined or brought it down, the economy. Now, not everybody liked Nkrumah. Critics of Nkrumah charged he spent too much time on Pan-African efforts. Well, what's the problem? He's spending too much of his own people's money on projects outside of the Gold Coast or Ghana. His efforts were he was charged with spending too much time on Pan-African efforts. Pan-African efforts. Pan means across Africa. So he's thinking the group mentality, and where people of his own country are saying, hey, wait a minute, how about us specifically as a people? While he is, I believe, in communist China on a trip, he's overthrown by the military in 1966. He's overthrown by the military in 1966. It was a coup d'etat. And there's a constant shift now from military to civilian rule. Constant shift from military to civilian rule. So there's really not a lot of stability in Ghana, even to this day. Independence back in, 1957? But not a lot of stability. There is a regional organization of African countries called the OAU, Organization of African Unity. And it's Pan-African unity, or Pan-African cooperation. Can you imagine if these African nations voted together as a bloc in the United Nations? Boy, could they wield their weight around, and they have done that. Well, this is it for 34.3a. 34.3a. We'll be back down the way. See ya.